JCP is having a monster day after Oppenheimer said the retailer's big bet on Joe Fresh stores appears to be paying off. Well, let's bring in SW Retail Advisors President and CNBC contributor and general all-round fashionista Stacey Widlett. Stacey, Kramer says that apparel was not the place to be right now, but I guess it really depends on whose apparel it is.
Yes, that's very true. I mean, if you just line it up, we just got through with Q4 earnings, and input costs were very easy this year. So you had this natural gross margin lift there. And also, now that we're going into Q1, we're facing really difficult comparisons from an early spring last year. So, you know, most of the apparel guys that have given us guidance recently, it was pretty disappointing, and that includes the teen space and on up the chain here. So I would certainly be cautious in Q1.
You know what, Stacey, you also had ISI Group coming out with a note basically suggesting JCP could, in about 300 stores, lease out space. Not have a store inside of a store for that sake, but actually lease the space. In other words, almost become a REIT, a mall unto itself. Do you think that's possible?
Right. So let's take the basics here. Let's pretend we knew nothing about JCP. We didn't know that their traffic is down 17%. Vornado, probably one of the smartest landlords around, just sold half of their position in JCP. So you take that and make the leap and say, okay, what is this real estate worth? Which direction is it going in? So let's take the space. Yes, Ron Johnson is rolling out the store-in-store concept, completely unproven yet. So we don't know what the real estate is worth. And if you take the stores themselves, even the top performing ones, to suggest that there are retailers out there that can pick up a couple hundred stores to lease out, I think is a leap when everybody's really closing stores.
You know, I'm wondering, in terms of the culture that's been sort of implemented, if you like, by the CEO, Ron Johnson at JCP, to what extent can no one say no to this guy, and that's going to be an obstacle in terms of turning this round for good?
Manny, I think that's one of the most important points here. We've heard in the past week some suggestions that Ron Johnson's out. No, he's in. He's not out. He's not leaving. He has no plans to leave. But the bottom line here is he has not tested the concept. He just rolled it out. He's surrounded himself with a culture of yes. If you say no and challenge him, you're out. Look at the layoffs that have been going on. So I think when you're talking about a turnaround in retail, you really need a team that's willing to challenge the leader and say, you know what, this might not be working.
That's a great point, Mandy, because what do we know about JCP's board? Are they sheep or are they lions? I mean, I don't know. You know, that's actually probably another segment. We should do that.
Sheep or lions, the board. Do you know, Stacey?
No, I think that the retail expertise on the board, ex-Ackman, ex-Vornado, is a bit light here. So I think, again, when you look at a management team, you want to see that people are challenging the premise. So now we've seen Ron Johnson roll out something that's not tested. He's now coming around and saying, I've made mistakes. Great. But we want to know there's a team as we go forward, again, challenging his assumptions and not letting him just plow through without challenges.
Stacey, we have to leave it there, but thank you very much for joining us today.